Hey everybody, Chad here. What do you do? And I have a question for you. What do you do when you're so excited? You're so excited for your goals, your dreams you have for your life. Maybe for example, you made that decision to be an entrepreneur. Take that entrepreneur adventure, and you're so excited, you run around and you tell everybody because you're excited. When you're excited, we want to tell other people. But lo and behold, your bubble gets popped. I mean, it's just like the negativity coming from your friends and your family. It's just you have this great big bubble of positivity. You're so excited, and they just took a pin and popped it. Have you ever had that happen? So today in this episode, that's what we're going to talk about. And hopefully, my friends, I'm at my sister's, so I propped the phone up. They didn't have a stand. I have a cell phone stand at home and stuff like that. So I kind of propped the phone up, so hopefully it doesn't shake and move. I'm trying to stand still so I don't like vibrate everything. But anyway, have you ever had that happen to you? You know, and it doesn't have to be the entrepreneur adventure. It could just be something you want. I mean, you want to buy a new car, or you have a dream to save up for a certain car. You're so excited, and you run around and you start telling everybody. You start telling your friends, your best friend, your mom and dad, your sister, brother, and their responses are really not the same as yours as far as your enthusiasm. A lot of times they want to pop that balloon. Or maybe you're getting ready to go to college, and besides picking a college really close to your family where you can commute back and forth, all of a sudden you choose to go to college out of state. And you're so excited to do it. You think everybody's gonna be the same enthusiastic as you. But all of a sudden they pop that balloon, burst your bubble. And the dogs are like going crazy there. They're looking at me saying, "Why are you in the other room?" But what do we do? And I had a similar situation. Just I'm older, and I had a similar situation because I've been away for. I'm originally from Ohio. To kind of back up here, I'm originally from Ohio, so I moved to California way back in 2003. So I've been in California since like 2003, and I didn't really come back to Ohio until it's probably about 2021. I came back in 2021, and I came back for a few months. Then I went to Thailand for a year. Then I came back to Ohio in June of 2022 to visit family and my sister, brother-in-law, nephew, mom, and so forth and so forth. So I've pretty much been away for at least 20 years. Now I've visited over time. Now I didn't really visit as much as I wanted, but sorry about that. My nose itched. It's like I was like really digging in there. But anyway, I don't edit that stuff out. So sorry about that. But I've been, kind of basically away for 20 years, besides like visiting for a week or 2 weeks here and so forth and so forth. So when I came back, especially from Thailand, and I've been back here about 6 months, and, I do a lot of stuff online digital companies, websites. So I have passive income coming in from that. Then to make even more money, I decided to get a job. So in the beginning, besides going through 3, 4, or 5 interviews, I registered with a temp agency. But here, being surrounded by small towns, the only jobs they have through a temp agency is through factories. So then I've never worked in a factory before. So I went into the factories. So of course I never worked for a factory before. So basically for the last 5, 6 months, I've kind of been job hopping from factory to factory because it flipping sucks. You know what I mean? If you ever worked in a factory, you know what I'm talking about. So some of the work it's like you step back in time to the 1950s. I mean, some of the rules or regulations they have, just giving just basic breaks don't exist. And I'm talking about the United States, okay? This isn't a third world country, but when you work in a factory, it might as well be a third world country. So anyway, this is this is kind of what I've been going through. And at the same time, okay, kind of building up to this, building up to my point here, at the same time, that's kind of going on. Okay, I am going to go back to Thailand, sometime soon. Right now it's like February, so probably I'm kind of planning sometime in June or maybe July. My nephew graduates in the end of May, so between his graduating from high school, then I'm sure my sister or whatever gonna have a graduation party. So I mean that's probably end of May, sometime in the beginning of June. So I am gonna be here for that. But anyway, I'm going to go back to Thailand. Now, when I go back to Thailand, I'm not going back there to live because I'm a foreigner. I'm a Farang. Okay, now Farang is a foreigner in Thai. So so uh so basically that's kind of my situation right now. But I've been kind of having an interesting experience with my mom. Okay, because I know my mom is kind of a little bit passive aggressive, and she sees me come back, so she wants, she basically wants me to move back and stay in Ohio pretty much full time. She don't want me to leave again and move to a different state or go to Thailand or whatnot. Because if I go to Thailand, maybe I can stay a year. Depends upon the visa I can qualify for, a visa I can get, depending on how long I can stay. But most of the time, at most, it might be a year or 9 months, something like that. Maybe even 3 months. I don't know yet. But when it gets closer, I'll start looking. But it's kind of been a very interesting experience because every time I come home, uh, and I want to quit, because the factory life sucks. It's almost like I can't have a conversation with her. Every time I talk about, oh, this kind of sucks, it's taking up too much of my time. I come home, I'm flipping exhausted because they don't want to give you breaks, and it interferes with other stuff I want to do. It's almost like she wants to put me in my place. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you don't have to have a job you love. You just have to work. Because she's coming from that type of mentality. That type of mentality back in the, back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Our parents, they worked and they did a job they hated, and that's kind of their mentality. And she's always kind of burst my bubble on that, like if I want to do something else. On the flip side of that, she knows I'm going back to Thailand. So she hasn't really said she don't want me to go, but kind of passive aggressively, it's kind of like my sister works for the state of Ohio. So she's like, well, she can refer you in and get into the state. That way, you can make great money. And yes, you can make great money. I can have a hybrid schedule where I can work half and half, work, 2, 3 days at home and only have to go to office a couple days. So granted, it's a great schedule, but it's not that I don't want to do it, but I am going to travel, and that's really what I want to do. I want to travel. I want to go back to Thailand. So I'm looking for something 100% remote. So she really, passive aggressively, she really don't want me to look for something 100% remote because she knows that's what I'm going to do. So she really is pushing me work for the state because she's thinking, you basically have a job. It's too good to be true. It's too good to kind of let go. So she's kind of thinking, well, if he works for the state, it's going to be too good to kind of let go that he's going to stay here in Ohio, full time forever. So, it kind of puts me in a position where you get so excited because you want to go back to Thailand or you want to do what you want to do, but you kind of have someone there bursting your bubble along the way. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my current situation, even though I'm older, but no matter how old you are, a parent is always going to be a parent. Friends are always going to be friends. Best friends are always going to be best friends. Sisters and brothers are always going to be sister and brothers. So that's my current situation. And maybe you've experienced it some sort, not just like me, but you're so excited to do something, you're so excited, but you have dreams and goals for your life, you have stuff you want to accomplish, stuff that you want to do, and sometimes it's just you want to experience life. And we get so excited, we of course, when we're excited, we want to run around and tell people. A lot of times we're telling our loved ones, we're telling our best friends. If we have a significant other or a boyfriend, girlfriend, we're telling them. And we're waiting. We want them to kind of have the same response that we feel, but we're not getting it. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. They basically pop that balloon. They pop all the positivity out of you. And sometimes you have to understand, sometimes they don't do it on purpose. They don't really do it viciously. I mean, maybe some people do, but I think most of the time they don't do it on purpose and they don't do it viciously. Lots of times they kind of basically get scared that you're going to outgrow them. Makes sense? And if they feel that you kind of outgrow them, that you don't need them. You know what I mean? So if you don't need them, then you might not be a friend, or they might not, they might not see you. You might not have that close relationship, that knit relationship. So they're kind of, that's kind of how their mindset is working a little bit. And granted, there are some situations it is vicious. It is, done on purpose. It is that there is manipulation in there. So I don't want to say there's never, because you could be experiencing that. But I like to think on a positive side, on most circumstances, not all, that they're not really doing it viciously. They just kind of get caught up because they're afraid to lose you. They're afraid of you. They lose your friendship. Makes sense? Or if it's a parent, they're thinking that they're never going to see you again. Or if it's a brother and sister, if you're really close to them, they can feel kind of the same way. They're going to lose you. You're not going to have that closeness, like it is or currently. And they can pop your balloon. They can burst that bubble a little bit. And I mean, at that point, we kind of have to make sure that we don't let it kind of suck the positivity out of us. And I think that's kind of a turning point. And this is where I wanted to have this conversation, because for most of us, in talking to people over my lifetime, and hearing stories from other people, of course, that we kind of let that affect us way too much than it should. Okay, we can care about them, but we have to be able to do what we want to do. We have to be able to, if we want to experience life, well, that's something inside us that we want to do. We have to experiencing that. And sometimes they'll understand and sometimes they won't. And we have to be okay with that. You still have to push forward and strive and be the person you want to be, have the career that you truly want to have. If you want a career or a job that you love, it's out there for you. Okay. Your family might not understand that. If your parents are older, they might come from a factory life or working in food service. They've been brought up where you don't love what you do, so they try to push that down your throat. But on the flip side, well, you want a job that you're passionate about. You want a job that you love. And it is out there. Don't give up. Don't let a person over here kind of pop that balloon for you. And you think, well, maybe they're right. So then you stop dreaming. You stop going after what you want. And you basically kind of go backwards and do exactly what they want you to do. Okay, which isn't going to be a fulfillment for your life. It's not going to make you happy. And a lot of people, kind of go through life like that. And you can't let that happen. Okay, you have to push forward. And this is easier said than done, because the reason why it's so tough is because it's coming from people that we love. It's coming from our best friend that we've known for 10, 15 years. Makes sense? It's coming from a sister or brother that we're super, super close to, or it's coming from a parent. And that's what can get really, really tough. And that's what can kind of suck the life out of us, that we just kind of throw in the towel and give up. Or we start thinking, well, maybe they're right. Maybe, entrepreneurship is really hard. I'm not going to make it. And, why try? And we start kind of second guessing ourselves, and we start kind of talking ourselves out of what we really want, what we really desire. And what I'm here today to tell you, you got to keep pushing, People can have opinions, our loved ones can have opinions, but you can't let it affect you. Yes, yes, you're going to be forced to listen to it. You can't put, you can't put earmuffs on and be like, "No, I don't want to hear it," okay? Because that's a situation that all of us are in, even myself, that when you're around your loved ones, well, they're so comfortable being around you that they're going to give you their opinion no matter if you want it or not. So, we're in that situation as well. We just can't be affected by it. Okay, we can listen, okay, and we can still tell them what we want. They might not even comprehend it. They might argue with us, but we still have to do what we want. And that's what I mean. We can't let it affect us that we just give up altogether. We can listen and appreciate their opinion, but don't let it affect you where you quit. Okay, because I'm all for live the life that you want. We all want different things. We all have different goals and desires. We all want to do different things. If you make a bunch of money, we all want to do different things with it. Some people want to start charities and foundations. Other people want to travel the world. Other people want to buy their dream car. You know what I mean? It's all okay because that's what you want. Make sense? But don't let other people talk you out of it. Don't let other people burst your balloon. And even if they do, you might be down and out for a day or two, but get back up. Jump on that bike and start riding that bike again. Make sense? You kind of, like that theory? Hello? But anyway, I just wanted to tell you, keep going, keep striving. Don't give up. Don't let somebody talk you out of your dream. Don't let somebody talk you out of your goal. Don't let somebody talk you out of what you really want to do and accomplish in your life. Okay? Don't let someone talk you out of it. Don't let someone pop that balloon for you. Okay, my friends? That makes sense a little bit? Hopefully. But I'm going through it too. And we always go through it sooner or later in our life, even if you haven't experienced it. And sometimes it comes from, I don't know if I brought this up. Sometimes it comes from, a husband or a wife, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, your significant other. It comes from them as well. You come home, you're so excited, you talk to your girlfriend, boyfriend, or your husband and wife, and they do the same thing to you because they're afraid you're going to outgrow them. They kind of want to keep you where you're at. Make sense? They don't want you to outgrow that relationship. Okay? Sometimes that happens, but you can take their opinion, but do what you want to do. Make sense? And I'm going to end it with this. One of the things, the dogs are barking in the background, but I'm going to end it with this. I learned this by Bob Proctor, and I heard Bob Proctor say this many times, even in his live, webinar. Sorry about that. My phone kind of clicked. I had to push a button there. It didn't turn it off. But anyway, going back to Bob Proctor, kind of to wrap this up. Bob Proctor said, if you want to be free, I gotta be me. If I want to be free, I gotta be me. Not the me my parents want me to be. Not the me my wife wants me to be. Not the me my best friend wants me to be. If I want to be free, I gotta be me. And I want to be free. Make sense, my friends? So if you want to be free, you gotta be you. Not the you your parents want you to be. Not the you your boyfriend, your girlfriend wants you to be. Not the you your siblings want you to be. Not the you your husband or wife wants you to be. If you want to be free, you got to be you. Remember that. Other than that, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.